Born in Toronto in 1958, this future Olympian moved with his family to Thunder Bay in 1966, and it wasn't long before he was involved in swimming at the local Y, following in the footsteps of his father, who had excelled in the sport years before. With the formation of the Thunder Bay Thunderbolts and the arrival of coach Don Talbot to head up the club, Tom soon found himself as one of the leading members of this powerhouse swim club that featured some of the finest swimmers in the nation. His decade-long swimming career took him to meets around the world, and the opportunity to realize one of the dreams of every athlete, the chance to represent their country at the Olympics. A specialist in the 400 and 1500-meter freestyle, it wasn't long before Tom was making a name for himself with record-setting times and contributing to the medal haul that was common when the Thunderbolts traveled to competitions across the country. By the mid-1970s, those cross-country travels soon became international in scope, as a spot on the national team meant competing against swimmers in meets around the world and in events held throughout the United States and abroad, including the Tilt Invitational meet in France and other meets in Holland, Germany, and Switzerland. His bronze medal in the 400-meter freestyle and fifth place showing in the 1500-meter freestyle at the 1975 National Championships earned him a trip to Mexico City as a member of Team Canada at the 1975 Pan American Games. Finishing just out of the medals with a fourth and fifth place showing, it was this type of international experience which was preparing him for his next challenge, earning a coveted spot on the 1976 Olympic team for the Games in Montreal. His bronze medal performance at the highly competitive Pointe Claire Invitational meet in Quebec City in January of 1976 set the stage for things to come. At the Olympic trials held in Toronto, his third-place finish in the 1500 meters earned him the bronze, but his time was not at the Olympic qualifying level. Finding himself in sixth place with 50 meters to go in the 400-meter freestyle, his tremendous show of determination and strength over the last 20 meters saw him touch the wall in third, bettering his previous time by 5 seconds and earning a spot on the Canadian Olympic team. Joining him in the pool at the Olympic Games were a number of fellow Thunderbolts, and cheering him on from the stands were the hometown Canadian fans and members of his family who made the trip for this incredible moment for his career. Competing in the heats against 46 other swimmers, his time of 4:05.63 placed him in the top 30 and allowed him to realize his dream of becoming an Olympian. Given this athlete's outstanding swimming abilities to compete at the highest level, his talents earned him a scholarship to Auburn University in Alabama, where he swam for the Tigers, and in 1977 competed for Canada at the World Student Games in Bulgaria, an event featuring 3,000 athletes from around the world, where he put in a fourth place showing in the 1500-meter freestyle. Following his time at Auburn, Tom returned to the pools of Thunder Bay, swimming for a season with Lakehead University and competing in CIAU events. Embarking upon a teaching career, he traveled around the world, where he remained active in sports and began to pass on his knowledge to others. His coaching and volunteer activities included time as a swimming coach in the Bahamas and as a rugby coach in Africa. And upon his return to Thunder Bay in 2000, he dedicated himself to advancing the sport of rugby in his hometown through the development of the Lakehead Rugby Football Club, and in the past few years has helped coach the Mountain Cycling Club at Hammersholt. Remaining active today in such sports as kayaking and cycling and staying in touch with his fellow Thunderbolt family, it was most fitting that this dedicated athlete was given the opportunity to carry the Olympic torch as it made its way across Canada for the 2010 Olympics, adding another page in this athlete's Olympic history book.